This is going to be the first of the 2, which has now turned into 3. Rediscover Your Stash, Spending Freeze, Takeover projects, I guess. They sort of cover a wide range of bases, and they're using mostly that kit that I sort of walked you through during the live stream and got some feedback on what to keep and what to chuck. And this particular photo, I reprinted it with a warmer, sort of slightly more vintagey filter. So this is what it looked like before, and then I warmed it up a little bit, because what we decided is that this, from Cosmo Cricket 1934, yeah, it's 1934, and there was a smaller cut apart sheet which I've already cut apart there somewhere. Anyway, we thought that I could get that to work with this paper, this My Mind's Eye paper, and I mentioned that I'm going to get inspiration from Chamel's Half and Half class. I know it's from, I think, 2020, but I haven't done it. So I might as well try and do as many things as I possibly can. Now, I struggle when something is like this. Like this is fine. Like this, not so much. So I kind of cheated and decided I'd use black as a background, and I cut the middle papers too small, but that's okay. I said that I'd use this paper with embellies of different styles. So the next one is going to be sort of using a lot of the Vicky Bouton planty type ones, so it'll be definitely less vintagey. And it was going to be the shoes, but I thought, you know what, I'm just not feeling this paper with the shoe photo. So in the coming days I'll have the second one that uses this paper, and then the shoe one, which there was a poll in the group where I picked some Sasa papers and you guys voted, and I think one of them was a lot more popular than the others, so that's what I'll do for that one. I wasn't initially going to go with pink. I thought I would go with like that greeny blue colour, but then I was realising there wasn't really pink, so this is probably a good representation of what this collection has. It's got, it's got like a dusty duck egg blue. It's got that sort of sagey green, a mustardy yellow, a red. Occasionally a different colour pops up now and then, and black on a really heavy cream. So, actually, look, some of these letters have a really pale. This might be worth including, because what I have pulled out, and this has got the whiteboard I intentionally left, because all the things that I've pulled out range from having white to a lighter cream to a sort of semi-deep cream like the Jenny Boland card to this very heavy Cosmo Cricket cream. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to sort of lean this up here so that I've got the whole colour scheme to look at. I've pulled out the biggest bits. These are the rest of the bits. Clearly, there's probably enough for 10 layouts here. Anyway, there's not a whole lot of actual paper besides this, because the particular one that I'm going to try and get inspiration from Chamel's Half and Half class, it's the very first one, and she uses mostly journaling cards and little cut aparts and things like that to form the layers, and I just fell in love with that one massively, in a massive way. I'm going to need to ink everything up and then start playing with my biggest layers. I do have a few scraps from the Scrapbox. I think I will use this as a photo mat. This one, that's that embossed My Mind's Eye paper. And maybe this. And I think I pulled in some wood grain embellies, so that might be an idea. Because just to break up all the other colours, I thought wood grain just gives it something. Okay, so you don't have to watch me ink all this. I'm just going to put this together like that and be right back. Okay, so I've put the mat on this and I've inked up this one. I'm definitely going to use this. I think this is the right kind of, it's sort of in between that green and blue that is on that Cosmo Cricket sheet. And if I put it sort of something like that, because there'll be more behind it, you're not even going to notice that bit. It's one of the Project Life cards from Chamel's first collection, and I don't care about the rounded corners. It doesn't worry me in the slightest. there were two My Mind's Eye chipboard sheets. They're not from the same collection as this. They come from a couple of years later, and I think they might work really well because the colours are pretty much exact. So something like this, awesome together. I mean, the story's not anything earth-shattering, but I like to have the progression of family photos. We don't get many of those. That's not too bad. Okay. These various different records that I want to include for obvious reasons. And so how can we do this? These ones would probably, and even the stickers, they do alright being cut in half and then just slipped in between the layers, but these larger ones I probably wouldn't mind using as they are, maybe right on the edges. In fact, that one can even go horizontal. Okay, so I don't exactly remember where I left off, because what happened was I had to walk away. I was getting a bit, I don't know. I just wasn't, it wasn't going where I wanted it to. I have made some changes. I took off those that salsa sticker that I cut in half and replaced it with this October afternoon paper. I just didn't like how it looked. I'm hoping I can reinsert them somewhere, and I extended both of these. The gaps obviously will need to be covered, and I'm not even 100% sure that they're where I want them to go. I'm now thinking that maybe I just need to shift this entire composition down this way a little bit. So I'm going to try that. The other thing is that I changed the title to this. It's still a pre-made, one of those pre-made alphabet things, because the other one that I pulled out had, the first word was going to be kind of this colour, which would have sat here, and then the second word was going to be this colour, and it just, yeah, that wasn't going to work. So I pushed some paper around, some of these die cuts, which, that big huge platter thing, I've pulled out a short list, which is obviously still enough for about 3 or 4 layouts. Don't remember exactly what I chose or where it went, so I'm kind of going to be starting from scratch. I do remember that I wanted to use this as a journaling card, and I wanted to use it sort of somewhere there, but did I want this over the top or underneath? That's the question. What else? Oh, the records. Okay, I've got to go and find them now. This was a big arrow sticker from Sassafras. I cut the tip off the arrow because I just wanted that much. And a good reason to include this would be it's also got the rounded corners. So there'll be a selection of things with rounded corners and some without. Now, this was over here somewhere. I think I was going to put this up here. This was definitely going to go up here, but horizontally, I believe. Yes, it was, because then you can read that sweet word. I didn't care if the bit that said date got covered, but I'm going to ink this and stick this down, because this is going to be a limiting factor with other things. This was meant to go here somewhere. I had this for some reason. I think because I wanted to make sure there was more of this collection. Okay, I think I remember sort of where I left off. I know, famous last words and all. Oh man, this photo is so messed up. I'm going to work with this now, because if I pull out the selfie, it's going to wake up fits and it's going to end up very bad. Very, very bad. But look, I've probably got photos in worse shape than that in my album, so I don't care. So I've got a few little gaps to close. This one probably is going to give me the biggest grief. Now, this, I wanted this bit to show. I know it would sit like that, and it's considered upside down. Not necessarily. No, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cut that off, so then it can sit, I can tuck things behind it rather than on top. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And there's even some really faint printed lines on here, because it looks like it was printed on sort of notebook paper. Now, so I think I'm going to ink as I go and try to stick things down. Now, except right. Okay. Oh good, this is not sticky anymore. That's actually a really good thing. I'm just going to treat it as a die cut, even though technically it didn't start its life out in that way. Because I know the page extends up to the top quite a long way. I mean, mine's going to be even longer, but never mind. Now, this was from some other layout. I don't even remember which one. But if I can get it used, so much the better. Now these are just going to be shoved. Do I want it lower? Do I want it higher? I don't know. What I do think I might put is some foam squares under these corners. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Now I need something to bridge this gap, and I think that's what this was. It makes sense that I pulled this tag out because it gives me a big pop of red up there. Now, only time will tell if the empty hole makes me twitchy and I need to put some twine there or something. But then that short bit now is the shortest. Oh, I don't like that. I'm going to stick the tag onto the sticker. That way I'll just move those around as a single unit. Okay, I'm not actually sure what the last thing I got was, because the camera has stopped shooting. The memory card ran out of memory. There's a pile that I've culled from the bigger pile because I kind of sort of, yeah, anyway, this is where I got to. While it was, the images were loading, I was moving and resticking and moving and resticking. The next thing, now I'm not 100% sure how high I want this. Probably not this high, but I'm not completely certain of that. So maybe, yeah, alright, okay, in. I stuck all these three down as a unit. They're not massively sticky, and I haven't ruled out putting some foam just under those bits once I commit to, because I quite like that. I've inked some of the things in this pile, not all of them. I started going real, yeah, gung-ho with the ink and then got cold feet. Okay, this thing, like that, so that the little needle bit is there and that you can read the sweet bit. I think that was supposed to go somehow like this. Was going to go in front of it. There was, yeah, I've put just about all of these cut aparts from that circa 1934 cut apart sheet, because I felt that besides the My Mind's Eye, this was inspiration-y, so I felt that that needed, yeah, I felt that that required a bit more emphasis. Here. I think I had it a little bit higher than this card because that's probably what I would do. Okay, I'm going to commit. Now if I put that here, it's helping with the gap. It really is, but still needs to be something there. And I think I had another record here, so it would be like 1, 2, 3. In that case, I want this one a bit lower. I think I wanted the red one. If I put it sideways, okay, I might cut it. I shouldn't cut it until I figure out how much. So, okay, let's do this to clean in half. Now I can use that for something else. I don't know what I'm going to use half a record for, but you never know. Because I am going to put something to cover this gap. So if I put the record like that, I think you can still read that that says wonderful, and that's going to take care of all that stuff. Yep, okay. Something here. I actually don't mind that. I don't think that's what I had there initially, but I actually don't mind it. Now I'm sure I had something going across. There definitely has to be. It can't be anything too thick and wide because, alright, that works. That's still, it's going to need, okay, this is a work in progress. Work in progress. This definitely was up here somewhere. I had it up there, I'm certain. There was something that I had going across, wasn't there? Ah, here it is. Do I like the tickety bit over the top of everything else? Yeah, I kind of do, because it's got those edges. Alright, I'm going to put this in. Okay, I'm sticking this down. I have a feeling I'm going to come back and add foam to a fair few of these things. This needs to go above this card. This might be the right size, and I could put the date up there even and then put something else entirely here. Now I've got the problem of a little gap here. Figure it out later. I have this bit which is like advertisements for cameras, and that was going to go up here somewhere, and I might cut this one in half in case I use the other bit. It's subtle, but it's like a little nod to the photography nature of this layout. Now, did I have it? And this, if that kind of mirrors this bit and is the widest bit, so I know I won't go past that. What if I put this? What do you think? Because I definitely wanted a pop of red there. It does leave me with a weird little gap unless I... Oh no, actually, yeah, I can move that to the bottom. The only thing is that too much record? No, you know what, I'm going to leave the 3 records. Something else is going to have to go there. This sticker from another crepe paper collection. Oh man, I'm sorry about the mess. Now I'm going to just run with it before I change my mind. I'm a little bit terrified that that's exactly what's going to happen. So it needs more glue. Don't love it. It's still something bugging me about it. Maybe, I don't know. A word sticker, something. So as usual, my foam squares grew legs and ran away. So while I was searching for them, I thought I might as well add the journaling and all the bits and actually apply the foam squares, because watching someone fumble with foam on a video is not really fascinating watching. I haven't put the date because I can't find, I know, story of my life. The only roller date stamp thingy within reach is one that doesn't go up to the right year. This was only a few years ago, so wrestled with the title somewhat. Now I don't think I'm going to make this garland work as much as I want to. It's crazy busy already, and I haven't added buttons and brads. Now I want something of a completely different texture, something maybe on the diagonal. Even if I do say 3 here and 3 there, that'll do. This gap's bothering me, so I'm going to have to wrench something in there. But before I do any of that, I'm going to fill this gap. Something here too. See, this was going to go there, but I forgot that about the title. So maybe I can move it here somewhere. I'll just put that there to remind me. Can I have it under or over? I think I could probably have it under because I've got that other thing going over. Yeah, I think it needs a few, like, multiple labels. So ink. But that's about the right width, really. This camera's a good fit, but I'm not, yeah, pink works because that's, maybe I can put the camera on foam, huh? Yeah, but I don't really want to put any more on the, nope. I just don't want to have to put anything else on top of the photo. Now, it looks kind of weird all by itself. I wonder if I've got anything else of this colour. I thought that this is a bit big. Maybe I should have put that under there. It's kind of more of a green, but it's not terrible, especially if I shove it way up there. Maybe I'll cut it in half. I really should stop cutting all these labels in half. In fairness, I do use some of them, like I did for that sassafras one, but that is sassafras. These other ones are just Maggie Home ones, which just keep multiplying. Yeah, slightly off centre, but just enough to cover this. Ah, I wish this was on that side because this is where I want it. But I want to cover up this bit. I need something to go behind here. Now, I had the idea kind of percolating in the back of my mind to tuck this part, or even part of this flower, behind these two, so it covers that gap, but it's still something. And then I could do the same somewhere else. Yeah, I probably won't even bother cutting this one down. And then the leaves can be popped up. Because I had hoped to include this. I think it's from a Fancy Pants, something cut apart, or not even cut apart sheet, just one that I did cut apart. Okay, so this is probably about day 4, and not consecutive day 4 either, that I've been trying to get through this layout. So I don't even remember where I left off because I think the camera switched off. Forgot to wear my watch yesterday, and it always reminds me to keep checking the counter on my second screen, because for some stupid reason after 30 minutes, what is even this? I don't even know. Yeah, for some stupid reason it just switches off every 30 minutes. I know I figured once I gave up yesterday I would do the mist because it needed time to dry, and I did the journaling, and I've got some coffee stains here. That's a long story. Yeah, that's about the worst of the damage. Otherwise it went over some Maggie Home stickers and thickers, which are kind of resistant, and Maggie Home stuff is vintage anyway. So date's going to go here. Once ideally I'll find a date stamp for that. If not, I'll handwrite it. So I actually completely don't even remember where I was at, what I was going to do. I've stuck all this down. I know I've picked out some brads and buttons in here from my big thingo full, and I'll pick some of those out. And right, I wanted these little bits of chipboard. Where are they? There's one. Oh, they're still here too. Yeah, don't mind me. Hopefully the next video will be better. Ah, here it is. Okay, so this one I thought I would just shove in this gap there. That's actually a really good size for it. This is the biggest one. See, if I put it directly under the thing, under that sentiment, it will kind of hide half of it, but this gap here is, I'm not 100% sure. I could put something there. So maybe I'll put this one here. Page. It needs to go on this part of the page somehow. If I put it like this, that's not too bad. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I ought to ink those up and just commit to that. Not have them floating around any longer. Even got a little bit of gold on this one, so it looks like it was meant to be here. Yep, that's reasonably sticky, shockingly. Now what I might do first is actually stick this corner down a bit better. Okay, I quite like that. So it's just this guy that needs a home. Alright, I'll wait with him. Let's see, words. Here are those little My Mind's Eye words. Now that everybody's doing them, use them so often. But look, there's loads of them. Alright, it's all coming back to me now. I think I wanted to use this one somewhere down here. Yeah, this is better because it's not... Oh, I wanted one in here, didn't I? This might be a good spot for a red word. Let's see. I have 2 of these. Who knew? I didn't. Alright, one of them's going to go into my giveaway drawer. What am I going to put here? Yeah, maybe there. Is there anything that's going to work here? Even things like smile, because the story's kind of more or less related to the photography and having family photos taken and all that kind of thing. You are the salt to my pepper. Maybe that one. Where here? I'm just going to place it right because I'm feeling a bit non-committal. Sarah told me just to stick and go. I think she was somewhat horrified at how long it was taking me to finish this. That's not too bad. That covers up that little label. There was that little spot there. There is this weird gap here. I could put some words on that. What do you reckon like that? Maybe I'll chuck this one up there. It needs a bit of red. Okay, I could put this camera in like that because you certainly don't need to see the whole thing. Okay, I'll put that like that. I'll try and get this straight. I'm going to just trim this one down just a little bit more. In fact, I can put it underneath here. It's not like this is going to stick very well anyway. What am I still missing? This one. Okay, you can see. Well, okay, this is not bad. What if I stick this here like this? But maybe I'll put the red on this end. Okay, now I've got to do the buttons and things. There's extra stuff in here that's not needed. So basically, there are 4 colours: pink, red, yellow and green, and black and white. So if I was thinking I'll do maybe a black button. I remember looking and thinking I don't have very many black buttons. I don't know if that one's brown or black, but it's cute. And then I can put 2 of the 4 colours in each spot. So maybe 1 fabric brad and 1 some other kind of brad. Ooh, there are these little pearly ones. Oh, these ones I pulled out to shove in these sockets. Okay. So if I do that, I don't need the other buttons. Alright, this pearl one, it's like a pale green. So is this. This is like a punchier green. Maybe I'll use that. That would look good there. I won't put a pink one there simply because it won't stand out. So is this the only red one that I chose? Alright, well it has to be that then. Now over here, yellow and pink. Although now I'm wondering whether I like the yellow up there more than this one down here. Yeah, I think I do. I think I like that a little bit better. Alright, I'm going to punch some holes and be back. The brads are down, the buttons are not. I wanted to show you two different ways that I like to thread buttons, depending on, you know, how thick something is or whatever, my mood. So sometimes I will just take a glue thingy, one of these. Glue dots are better, but they tend to gum up the holes if I'm for this method, and cause a bit more grief when it comes to stitching them. So I'll stick it down like that. I'll put like a mat thingy under it, and then I'll get a stabber and pierce the holes. And my needle, which I've already threaded, picked a big one so I can see it. This one's just a gold metallic thread because I've started with the gold mist and all of that kind of thing. So start on the back and pull it through one of the holes. And when you almost get to the end of the thread, just stick it down with washi tape. And you may want to stick down the brads too, because they'll keep getting caught in your page protector. And then basically just stitch it down as you would any button. Number 2 is a cheap method, and this is where the glue dots really come into their own. Get a glue dot onto the back of your button. Does this one have a designate? No, both sides are the same. Because you'd want it to hold the thread in place. Basically do all the button stitching off the page. It's telling me to stop. I mean, I think I've already damaged the thread a little bit, so it's starting to shed, which actually I don't mind too much. Alright, so basically the next step is to add a whole bunch more glue dots to the back, like a ton of them. I think these two are a bit dusty. Right, so I've got all the ends down. Maybe I'm just going to take a risk and snip this. Once it's in the page protector, hopefully it's not going to keep shedding. If you don't like piercing metal brads, the other thing you can do is get like those little like tin snips or something, and snip those prongs off the back, and then put a whole bunch of glue dots underneath a metal brad, and that way they're going to be like those, you know, the stick-on brads that they make nowadays. So there you go. Can you tell the difference between the two? Not easily. So there are two ways for you to stick those down. I think that's finished. I think it is. Yeah, if you know the one I'm referring to in Chamelle's half and half class, you can see why this one turned into a Crazy Alex special. Chamelle's is, yeah, nice, neat, tucked in, compact, crisp colours, but you know, it is what it is. So I'm going to take some stills and I'm going to get on with the other two layouts. So, yeah, I hoped you enjoyed even somewhat this crazy disjointed piecemeal video, and hopefully the next two will be a lot better. So thanks for watching, and links to any relevant stuff will be in the description box. So thanks again. Bye.